Hello, welcome to The Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. It's the Age of Sigmar Stats show, where we look at the event results over the weekend, and we have a look at what armies have been doing well, and we come up with conversations about the trends, what's happening, and a bunch of other stuff, which is very cool, and I'm very much looking forward to it. If you do have any thoughts about the lists that have done well, and we've got some shockers for you in the comments, so you're going to be very excited about that, then you please do let me know what you're thinking about these lists and what your games are like. I really like reading the comments on the YouTube videos because I get some insight into what other people are doing around the world, so it's always fun, so do drop them. Let's go look at the event results from this weekend right now. The thing that we should be focusing on, we've got 248 players who played, right, over 5 countries this weekend, which is pretty nice. England, Spain, USA, Czechia, and also Canada as well. So very much looking forward to going through these. Also, don't forget, you can always jump onto the honestwargamer.com and go check out the country rankings or the player rankings for the different rankings. Sorry, so there's overall rankings you can see here. If we go and look, and you can see that currently Tom Guan and Gavin still in that top category right here. So these are, and I think almost everyone in this top section is from the US. And then obviously if we jump over to the individual country rankings, and the first event we're going to look at, and the biggest this weekend, is based in the United Kingdom. You can see that we've got Hazel, Phil, Dom, Matt G, Joe, Orpheus, Max, and a bunch of other people up here in our top 10 so far. So let's go look at our biggest event this weekend, which is the Tracksuit GT, organized by Pete. Shout out to Pete. We've got a picture here of his lovely egg-like head showcasing the event. People were meant to be wearing tracksuits. I think that's the beautiful Tim Willoughby over in the left-hand corner there, which is cool. As well as a bunch of Age of Sigmar luminaries. I don't think I've used that word correctly or on purpose. And in the 5-0 section, you've got 2 people who play a lot of Age of Sigmar, although not actually currently. So pretty impressive for them to go 5-0 with these armies. So first up, we got Ogor Mawtribes in first place. Ogre Tribes in first place with the Beast Handlers Battle Formation, Prayer Law, the Everwinter Prayers. Then we got Frostlord and Stonehorn with the Gruesome Trophy Rack, which gives you +1 to hit. I think it only gives you +1 to hit on the Rider. I don't think it gives you a +1 to hit on everything. I'll have to check that. And then there's a Huskard and Stonehorn. There's a Huskard and Stonehorn again, Stonehorn Beast Riders. Then there's a Huskard on Stonehorn, a Huskard on Stonehorn, and a Huskard on Stonehorn. So pretty cool. Lots of mortal damage. Obviously, since the Battle Scroll update, we've had a lot of mortal damage come out of these guys. So you just send them all in, do mortal damage, and then smash them things through, which is cool. Then Craig Namvar using, I think he was using the Krazog's Grunter Stampede, which is an army of renown. An army of renown, which gives you a bunch of benefits. And I think that this means that they were using... so the Army of Renown is from an older publication and can be found online. Anyway, so he was running a Tusk Boss on More Grunter, a unit of Gore Grunters, 2 other smaller units of Gore Grunters, a unit of more Grunter Gorgers, then we had a Tusk Boss on More Grunter, and then 3 more units of Gore Grunters. Which is pretty incredible because I truly don't know how you would do well with that list, but it's exciting. Are we going to have a range of like a new surge of people taking big pigs, using the Army of Renown to start doing those things? That's going to be super exciting and interesting to see. Go check out what that Army of Renown does. Super interesting. Right, going into the 4-1s, we've got a really eclectic list of armies. So we've got Tavi Gain, shout out to Tavi, great human being, is bringing the Sunclaw Star Host in a Seraphon list. His manifestation law was a Morbid Conjuration. He had KROAK, Reinforced Unit of Lancers, Kroxigor, Reinforced Unit of Saurus Guard, Skink Star Priest, a Starseer, 2 units of Hunters of Haunchu Starstone Bowlers, and another smaller unit of Kroxigor. Tavi's been playing Seraphon for a long time. I'm unsurprised to see him do well with a now reinforced powerful KROAK. Matt Rose, not I love OC spreadsheet Matt Rose, from Games Workshop, a different one, was running a Sylvaneth list called The Lady Invites You to the Kurnoth Boogaloo. And his list was Sylvaneth with Outcast, and his manifestation law was a manifestation to the Deepwood. Don't forget, you did get an upgrade to those manifestations in the set 2 battle scrolls ago. And then you got the Lady of Vines, Kurnoth Hunters with Scythes, a reinforced unit, but no Alariel. Then Belthanos, another unit of Hunters with Scythes, and then a Branch Witch, a Warsong Revenant, a Kurnoth Hunters, and Spite Revs. This is quite an interesting list because it gets to give you it reinforces the concept of tempo in playing games where you can aggro with more points because you're not bringing Alariel versus taking Alariel and then letting the tempo be dictated by stuff dying and bringing some stuff back occasionally as well. So that's quite cool. Well done with that. Dan Sidders was running Stormcast Eternals with his list being called This Is My Hill and I Choose to Die on It. Wearing a tracksuit, and then his Grand Alliance, his battle formation was Lightning Echelon. His manifestation law was Morbid Conjuration. Then he had Lord Celestin on Dracoth, a unit of Dracothian Card Concussors that were reinforced, a reinforced unit of Stormdrake Guard, a Knight Arcanum, Quest of Soulsworn, Storm Coven, and Stormstrike Paladors. So that Stormdrake Guard, so hot right now. And they got Miles Benjamin with Sons of Behemat after Sons of Behemat 5-0 last year. Are they back? Let's hope not. But they got a 4-1 with a list. You know what they say about Gargants with big feet. In a Sons of Behemat tribe of the Breaker tribe battle formation with King Broad, a Gatebreaker, a War Stomper, and a Khorneeee. I am actually one for Gargants making a return because it means reading out the list doesn't take quite as long. So it's cool. And also, you don't have to think what they did. You know what they did. They just sent it in a straight line forward. Shout out to Miles. Then got Baz Norman Jr. with the Stormcast Eternals list. He was running Sentinels of Bleak Citadels with a Krondys, a unit of Prosecutors, a unit of Vanguard Paladors, Starstrike Javelins, and then a unit of Vanguard Raptors with Longstrike Crossbows, then a Lord Relictor, and a unit of Vigilers. So very cool. Not too dissimilar to stuff we've obviously seen in the past, but Baz is great. Then you got Colin Cochran. And he's running Stormcast as well, as he does, with Sentinels of Bleak Citadels, with Manifestation Law, the Manifestation of the Storm, Karazai, Vexilla, Praetors, Reclusians, Vanguard Raptors, Longstrike Crossbows, a Relictor, some Liberators, and some Vigilers. So Liberators being a kind of a new thing we've seen taken by Stormcast players, but definitely popping off. And then a bunch of like little minimum units, Praetors, Reclusians were reinforced. So very cool. Nice to see him getting 4-1. He's also just a great person. You got Solomon Morrow, also over, was running a Lumineth Realm Lords list of the Alarith Temple. Don't forget they got those little point reductions in the latest update. They've got Avlanor, a small unit of Stone Guard, then Teclis, another unit of Stone Guard, a reinforced unit of Sentinels, and a unit of River Blades, and then the Saviours of Cinderfell, Callous and Toll. So it's going to be just all the output from Teclis and the Sentinels, Stone Guard just holding the line, Avlanor to countercharge. Pretty cool. Love that list. They got Gareth Hall running Skaven, and this is a super, super interesting list because he's running Thanquol's Mutated Menagerie, right, with one Hellpit Abomination. So this is the Army of Renown, the Thanquol Army of Renown, and he was running a Hellpit Abomination, a Master Boulder, a unit of 6 Storm Fiends. There's also another unit of 6 Storm Fiends coming up, a Brood Terror, a unit of Rat Ogres, and a Master Molder. This is very cool. So this is a really, really, really fun and interesting list. Obviously, those 2 power picks of those 2 units of Storm Fiends were able to make up for the absolute garbo that is the Brood Terror, 260 points, and the Hellpit. But they do get loads more bonuses inside of the Menagerie. You get 5-up wards on the Storm Fiends as well. They got a lot of life, so that's a good way of taking it, and it just showcases that if you can you can maybe get some movement out of these armies of renown. We've seen 2 featured in today's lists, so maybe some more to explore there, or are people just not used to playing against them? It's also a great question. They got Brent Evans with Kharadron Overlords. His list is called Dwarf Shortage, and his list is the Endrinrears Guild Expeditionary Force, his battle formation, sorry. And then he's got an Admiral, an Ironclad, a reinforced unit of Thunderers, another reinforced unit of Thunderers, and then another reinforced unit of Thunderers, really showcasing some top Age of Sigmar 4 list writing. And then a Navigator, a reinforced unit of Veteran Riggers, and a Sky Warden. So all the shooting, is there no boat? Wait, Thunderers, Admiral. There's got to be a boat. There's no boat. Am I just making that up? Engine Riggers? Have I read the Ironclad out? I think I have. There it is. There's the Ironclad, of course. I'm sorry. It was my bad reading comprehension. Perfect. There is a boat. All right, so everything in the boat. Shoot all the guns. Hope you win. Perfect. And then Dom Stonebridge with a list called Karazai, Can't Believe It's Not Trogs. And he was running the Lightning Echelon with the Manifestation Lord Twilight Sorceries. You got Karazai the Scarred, Praetors, Prosecutors, Vanguard Raptors, Longstrike Crossbows, not reinforced. Then the Lord Celestial on Star Drake for the Double Dragon. And then Vigilers, Knight Arcanum, and a reinforced unit of Annihilators, which have started to make a bit of a comeback. We saw that a couple of weeks ago. And then just behind him is Donal with a list called Yeet and Die. Still more Trogs than Troghammer Dom is willing to bring the Coward. Pretty funny that they're next to each other in the lists. That's good. Anyway, he's running Gitz with a Squiglanch. Yeah, Kragnos, 10 Bounders, 6 Rot Guts, Squig Boss with Nasher Squig, 10 more Bounders, Gobblepalooza, and a Squig Herd. I don't know if this was used in the new book. That'd be pretty wild if it was. No, because points aren't out, so no, it can't be. So it's the old book. So that's even better, running around with those Bounders. That's very cool. And that is it for our 4-1s at this event. Hope everyone had a lovely time. Shout out to Pete for running the event. It's very cool. Our next event takes us over to the beautiful Spain for the AOS World Pass, organized by DKHM Wargames. So shout out to all of those guys. If you're in Spain, you should go check it out. It was in, Fuengirola is where it was. Now, in first place was a famous man, the Pedromancer. Such an amazing human being who's given me delight in games I've played. Shout out to him, who's amazing. Who went 5-0 with Flesh Eater Courts. So he was running Batman, Robin, and Friends, which was Lords of the Manor battle formation with a manifestation of the Aetherot machineries. Then his general regiment was Usharan, reinforced unit of Crypt Horrors, a Marascroll Herald, and a Boran Ghoul King or Royal Terrorgeist. And then 2 units of reinforced Morbeg Knights and Morbeg Knights. It showcases that the new and latest Battle Scroll update has obviously had a marked impact, as we've seen over the past few weeks, with more of these Flesh Eater Courts wins. So then in second place, in the top of the 4-1 bracket, we've got Jorge Castillo of Bilbo Hammer with his Vanguard wing, Stormcast Eternals with the Primal Energy Manifestation Law. Then he had Karazai, Praetors, Vanguard Paladins, Starstrike Travelings, reinforced unit of Raptors, Longstrike Crossbows, Relictor, Storm Coven, and Vigilers. So, very much what we've seen before. Another 4-1 we had one from Josito 98, who was running Sylvaneth. It's our second Sylvaneth win with Lords of the Clan, and he was running Morbid Conjuration with Alariel, Kurnoth Hunters with Scythes, Belthanos, Warsong Rev, Gossamer Archers, Tree Revs, and a Branch Witch. So that's our second Sylvaneth now in these kind of rankings. And I think Sylvaneth are up there as a 4-1 army. 100%, so that's lovely to see. Seraphon, oh my god, they're so back. It's amazing. Mark was running Seraphon, getting a 4-1. Primal Energy, Thunderquake Starhost with KROAK, 3 Bastillons with Arcosotec, like it's 2022. An Engine of the Gods, a Skink Starseer, a unit of Haunt You with Starstone Bowlers, and 2 units of Skinks. Thunderquake Starhost and the Bastillon Arcosotec. They're just big tanks that are just protecting while KROAK does the damage. A shout out to him. That's very cool. Then you had Stormcast Eternals being played by Alfonso Periogi. That's wrong. And he was running a Sentinels of Bleak Citadels with the Ionis, reinforced unit of Prosecutors, reinforced unit of Stormdrake Guard, Vigilers, Knight Arcana, and Gryphounds, Quest of Soul Sworn, and some Vanquishers. So that's fun. That's a cool interaction to see there. And then Flesh Eater Courts again being played by Adrian Perez on a 4-1. He went and got a Lords of the Manor battle formation with Primal Energy, then Usharan, reinforced unit of Crypt Horrors, Marascroll Herald, Morbeg Knights, a Cardinal, Crypt Haunted Courtier, Morbeg Knights, and Royal Beast Flayers. So again, they're popping off, and they're about to pop off again because of Daniel Amordor with Flesh Eater Courts, again getting a 4-1. And he got the Lords of the Manor, Manifested Insanity, and then Usharan, Reinforced Crypt Horrors, Mariscal Herald, Morbane Knights, Cardinal, Courtier, and Crypt Horrors. I think it's fair to say at this point that they are super back as an army, the Flesh Eater Courts. And then finally, our last 4-1 was Miguel Angel Osono Atunes with Idoneth Deepkin. He was running Achillean Beastmasters with a primal energy, and he had an aspect of the sea Eidolon. He had 2 Leviathans and then 2 units of Morsar Guard. Just full send the big ones all the time. That's incredible. What an amazing list. 2 Leviathans, 2 units of 6 Guard. So again, very diverse, right? Like there's lots of armies we haven't seen there. Haven't seen like Slaves to Darkness at all, actually. It's worth noting, actually, the past two lists, 2 GTs that we've looked at, we've seen not a single Slaves to Darkness army. So not a single Be'lakor, not a single Vanguard unit or anything like that, which is very, very interesting. Anyway, shout out to everyone in Spain. Hope you had a great time. Our next event takes us over to the United States of America. Well, for now. And we are going to be looking at the event that was held at the Game Night venue. Absolute beautiful location. I love this venue. It's in Missouri. If you get the chance, if anyone's near Missouri and they want to go check it out, it's also, you can get your clock repaired at Helen's Clock Shop, which is inappropriate. So this event had 48 players at the Midwest Bash GT. And in first place, we had Eli Sweet with his Beasts of Chaos list. So he was running a Bestial Manifestation, or the Bestial Manifestations is his Conjuration Lore, and then the Almighty Beast Herd. He had a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, a Reinforced unit of Bestigor, a Reinforced unit of Dragon Ogres, a smaller unit of Dragon Ogres, Great Bray Shaman, unit of Centaur, a Cockatrice, and some Ungor, which is cool. Now, this is quite interesting because it's not just all Bestigor. Dragon Ogres in there is really interesting. The Shaggoth seems to be kind of a hot pick as well, so that's really fun to see. Then we got Sean Sayer. So this is our first 4-1. And he was running a Slaves to Darkness God's Wrath Warband list with Forbidden Power. He had a Gaunt Summoner, a unit of Chaos Knights, a Reinforced unit of Chaos Warriors, and then a Reinforced unit of Ogroid Therodons with a Screaming Flesh banner, and then a Gaunt Summoner, a Mindstealer's Phalanx, and another Reinforced unit of Ogroid Therodons and a Raptorix. So that does mean that no Be'lakor, no Chosen, none of that. So the Therodons with the banner this time, charging in and doing all the damage, is a really interesting pick. That Chaos Warrior unit that you could mark to Nurgle or something, or even to one of the other gods to be able to make them more sturdy as an anvil, and you've got those 2 Therodon hammers, is super interesting as a pick. Then you got Alex Cotter. So Alex was running the Trog Herd. He had a Crunspine Incarnate, and he had Scragrot, 2 Reinforced unit of Trogs, Rotguts, Trug, a Dankhold Trog Boss, another Dankhold Troggoth, and then a smaller unit of Rotgut Troggoths. Good saves, good output, still just as good in the new Battle Tome. If you like Trogs, you're still in. Then we have Meringue, I always say his name wrong, I'm so sorry, Yar, and he had a Forge Brethren Fyreslayers list, and he was using Magma Invocations. He had a Auric Runefather on Magmadroth, a Grimwrath Berserker, Hearthguard Berserker with Berserker Broadaxes, Hearthguard Berserker with Flamestrike Pole Axes, then a Rune Master, another unit of Hearthguard that was reinforced, Grimwrath Berserker, Hearthguard Berserker with Berserker Broadaxes, and then Gotrek Gunnarsson in this list as well. So obviously, since the points update that we've had for Fyreslayers, and more people picking them up to play with them, and also the descent into madness that is the current Age of Sigmar meta, Fyreslayers have been doing better and better. Talking about descent into madness, Daniel Pitt, with maybe the most outrageous list this week, was running a list called I Like Conan, which was a Slaves to Darkness Dark Oath Horde list with a Crunspine Incarnate. He had a Dark Oath Chieftain, a reinforced unit of Dark Oath Fell Riders, a unit of Dark Oath Marauders, a Dark Oath Wilder Fiend, then a Dark Oath Chieftain on Warsteed, a Dark Oath Chieftain on foot, a reinforced unit of Dark Oath Marauders, a Dark Oath Wilder Fiend, so there's 2 of those in there, a Demon Prince, and the 2 units of Chaos Furies, and then Gunnar Brand, Singmi Brand, and the Oath Sworn Kin, all in a list. Now, it's pretty tough to, as I understand it, Daniel, one of our infield reporters was talking to Daniel. Apparently, a lot of recursion and a lot of dice rolling to play with this list. But how does this list win? It's such an amazing question. A win in 4 games. This is incredible. Shout out to Daniel. That's an amazing list. Then Jake, with his Idoneth Deepkin list, was running Achillean Beastmasters. He had an Eidolon Aspect to the Storm, and a unit of Morsar Guard, a unit or another Eidolon, which was an aspect of the sea. So he's got both. He's got the magic and the fighting one, and then a reinforced unit of Morsar Guard, then a Leviathan, an Achillean King, and another reinforced unit of Morsar Guard in here as well. So Idoneth Deepkin definitely floating at the top along with the other armies. And then Barton Kenley with a Blades of Khorne Khorneeee Legion list with Judgments of Khorne as his manifestation law. You have Scarbrand, unit Skull Reapers, Skull Taker, Bloodsecrator, Slaughter Priest, Skull Reapers, Wrathmongers, Bloodstoker, Blood Warriors, and then a Realm Gore Ritualist with a Collar of Contempt. So very interesting having Scarbrand in here. None of the things you would expect to take, although I'm not surprised to see more and more Wrathmongers at the new updated 120 points. That's very cool to see. Hope everyone had a great time at game night. It looks like a really cool venue, and I hope you all had a lovely, lovely weekend. Our next event takes us to the Columbus Brewhammer event, which is super cool. It always takes place. This is every single year. It's in Ohio, if you want to go check it out. And it always takes place at this fun-looking like brewery. It's a brewery. I don't know what else. So I'm sure there's loads of beer, which is great. In first place, Jonathan Williams with his Gloomspite Gitz was able to take out the 5-0 with a Trogherd with Morbid Conjuration, Scragrot, Reinforced Unit Rock Guts, Trug, Reinforced Unit Rock Guts, a Dankhold Trog Boss, a Dankhold Trogoth, and a smaller unit of Rock Guts. So very cool and just as viable in the new Battle Tome as it previously was, although not quite as defensive as the Trugs were. So well done to Jonathan Williams. Now in second place, well, in the 4-1, sorry, we had Fresh Eater Courts being played by Corey O'Keefe. He was running a list called Fun in the Summer King with Lords of the Manor and Manifestation Lord Morbid Conjuration. He had Usharan, a unit Crypt Guard, a Marascore Herald, 2 reinforced unit Morbeg Knights, an Abhorrent Arc Regent, a reinforced unit Crypt Horrors, Grand Justice Gormain, and the Royal Beast Flayers. So very much what we've seen previously from the other Flesh Eater Course list as well. Then we had Corey O'Keefe, not Corey O'Keefe, sorry. We've already talked about him. Yes, we've already talked about him. We had Brad College, who was running a Iron Jaws Weird Fist list called the Princess War with a Kronspine Incarnate. He had Zogrog, Anvil Smasher, a unit of Ardboys, a War Chanter, a Reinforced Unit of Brutes, another Reinforced Unit of Brutes, Weird Knob Shaman, Weird Brute Wreckers, and Weird Brute Wreckers. And then he had a Regiment of Renown, the Stumblefoot Gargan, which is a little Man Crusher Gargan. So he's just putting all of these boys in the middle, and then he's just fighting with them, which is cool to see. Brendan Melnick was running a list called Monster Truck Stuff, and he was running Kragnos, Stonehorn Beast Riders, Frosthold on Stonehorn, Huskguard on Stonehorn, a Huskguard on Thundertusk, and then a Huskguard on Thundertusk. And they were doing a load of mortal wounds by charging in. And then finally, Paul Hinderman was running a Khorne list called Blood, Baby Blood. And he was running the Bacchanal of Blood. Sorry, it's not a Khorne list, it's a Soulblight Gravelords list. Bacchanal of Blood with Morbid Conjuration. He had Lukavai, a Terrorgeist, Radikar the Beast, Graveguard that were reinforced, a Via Volga, Cadio Ezekiel, Deadwalker Zombies, and they had a big 4-drog Fort Kicker in the list as well. Quite unique for Soulblight Gravelords, but with a new Battle Tome and new miniatures coming up, I do wonder how much we're going to see those armies change. Well done to the Columbus people for running another cool event. I'm sure they had a great time. And it's cool to see, again, a little diverse bunch of stuff. Iron Jaws now popping up. Ogre returning. Gloomspite Gitz have been pretty in your face all year. And then Iron Jaws and Soulblight Gravelords is nice to see as well. So nice and diverse and cool. Our next event is the Captain Con AOS event, which takes place in Rhode Island, if you want to go there. I don't really know where that is. Let me know if you are watching this. Let me know what the cool things to do in Rhode Island are. Anyway, in Rhode Island, you're able to go to the Captain Con event with 17 players in the USA. And in first place was Eddie Corando with the Idoneth Deepkin army. And he was running a Achillean Beastmasters with Kronspine Incarnate. He had an Aspect to the Sea, an Ishling Guard, a Leviathan, and a reinforced unit of Morsar Guard. Then an Achillean King, 2 units of Ishling Guard, and a unit of Namarti Reavers. They're just doing so well right now. Super popular. We should definitely break that down in another video in detail. Then Dylan Thoreau was top of the 4-1s. He's been doing really well all year, all season, sorry, with Cities of Sigmar. He was running the Fortress City Defenders with Forbidden Power. He had Galen Van Dance and Deralia Van Dance, Callus and Toll and Toll's Companions. Then a Rune Lord with Hammerers, a Free Kill Marshal with Relic Envoy, a unit of Free Kill Cavaliers, two free guild command corps, then a sorceress, dark riders, and a reinforced unit of executioners. Now, it's Dylan that's definitely been playing this like, you know, list for a while, and is very much unique, not uniquely his, but very rarely are other people running anything similar. And he's just been doing really well with it for a long time, so that's really exciting to see. Jack Poultice was, and this is time to shock you, was running another Dark Oath list with his list named Dark Oath Be Different. And he was running a Dark Oath Horde, and he was running a Manifestation Law Forbidden Power. He had Be'lakor and a reinforced unit of Chaos Chosen for 960 points of not Dark Oath, but that ruined a story. Dark Oath Chieftain, Dark Oath Savages, and the Dark Oath Wilderfiend for a fantastic 330 points of Dark Oath. Then Eternus, and then a 460-point Regiment of Renown Vault Claws Engine Coven with a Rattling Warpblaster, Galvaneer, and Scourges, which is super cool and very fun to see. So nice seeing those Regiments of Renown come into effect as well. Hope everyone at Captain Con had a great time. Our next event takes us to Czechia for the Winter Castle Siege of 2025. Just taking a moment to look at how insanely beautiful the location of this event was. I'm going to definitely get the name wrong. I think it's in Svoboda, but I've got that wrong. Anyway, the event was organized by Jan, so shout out to Jan. And in first place, we had Adam Slovak with his Heathen Knights to Slaanesh winning the event. He had Glutos Oskolian in the Seeker Cavalcade, a unit of 10 Painbringers, then 10 Slickblade Seekers, the Shard Speaker, 2 lots of 20 Blissbarb Archers, and then 5 Blissbarb Seekers, all in the list. So very, very cool. All with the Aetherwrought machineries. So a lot of shooting, not quite as much as we've seen from some of the US lists, but Glutos, I think, the best pick. And then in our only 4-1 at the event as well was run by Jan, and he was running a Lords of the Manor battle formation with Primal Energies. He had Ushran, 3 reinforced unit of Morbeg Knights, a Varghulf Courtier, a Borant Cardinal, and another reinforced unit of Morbeg Knights for 4 in this list, which is pretty devastating amount of Morbeg Knights. That's 24 Morbeg Knights, which is absolutely wild. All right, everyone. Hope everyone had there. They've got such a wicked community. Age of Sigmar Worlds was held there 3 years ago. They were incredibly accommodating. And if there's anyone playing around those regions or wants to travel to that location to go and play, I don't think you find a friendlier community. Well, you can't, not friendlier, but there's loads of really friendly Sweden, loads of really friendly communities like that. But that's a really good community you should go to. Our last event, obviously our smallest, but it takes us to Canada for an event organized by Todd Wall called Geekfest Winter Warzone, taking place on in the Royal Canadian Air Force Base, located in Nova Scotia, which is cool. Had 10 people battling it out. In first place, we had Andrew Schwiener, who was Swenemer, not Schwiener, who was running a Lords of the Clan Sylvaneth list with a Manifestation Law Morbid Conjuration. He had Lariel, a reinforced unit of Colonel Hunters with Scythes, Belthanos, unit of Spike Rider Lancers, Branch Witch, and 2 units of Tree Revenants. Sylvaneth doing really well again. So I want to take a moment to apologize to Andrew. That wasn't intentional or even a joke. I'm just pretty dumb. So I'm sorry about that. And then we had Dan Schreiber in the 4-1 section, and he was running a Seraphon with a list called Return of the KROAK, with his Manifestation Law being Morbid Conjuration, with Lord KROAK, reinforced unit of Agrodon Lancers, Bastillon with Arcasotek, reinforced unit of, a unit of Warp Spawned, unit of Saurus Guard, Starseer, Hunters of Haunchy with Dart Pipes and Bowlers, and another unit of Croxigore. So, what a crazy week. We've had 3 armies of renown do really, really well. We've seen a crazy Dark Oath list in there. We've seen quite a myriad of different armies perform. We've seen Fyreslayers. We've seen Flesh-Eater Courts definitely be dominant. We haven't seen as much Slaves to Darkness as I would expect, but then we've seen Slaves to Darkness I wouldn't expect out in a wild place, which is cool to see. We've seen Iron Jaws, which is unexpected. Sylvaneth and Idoneth Deepkin still floating around that top section, which is really nice. I really thought that they would leave, but they haven't. And then we've seen Fyreslayers. I said that. We've seen them return. KROAK is obviously backity back, as they say. So yeah, very interesting. And also crazy diverse post the battle scroll update with Christmas out the way and people building the armies and trying out something new and then winning or doing really well in these games really kind of explodes the game out more than I thought we would see. So I'm hoping some of these results continue, right? Like these aren't just flash in the pans, and we continue to see them perform as time goes on. We can't obviously ignore ogres and the monster trucks, but it has been super interesting, and I think it's going to continue to be every Monday on the Stat Show. Keep seeing these crazy things, these crazy picks happen, and then people doing well with them. So I love that. Shout out to the Age of Sigmar community. You're the best. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.